Hey y'all, it's Desiree and I'm back with another video. And for this video, God is saying that you need to be emptied so that He can refill you. And this is going to be a specific word. If this is your word, you're going to know that it's for you. Because those that this word is for in this time, there is something that God has been bringing you to that's ministry related. Either something that you kind of got started on, but you never did finish. Or something that you've been feeling on your heart to do, that God has been leading you to do, that you've been being prepared to do, but you haven't did it yet. You haven't got started yet. And God is saying that you need to empty that anointing so that you may be refilled again. It's like, if you think of it this way, imagine carrying around 20-30 gallons of water. 1 gallon of water is not really heavy, but if you stand there and hold it long enough, it starts to get tiresome holding it. But to be lugging around 20 gallons of water is going to be pretty heavy. It's going to be pretty burdensome. When you don't release your anointing, when you don't release what it is that God has stored in you, you end up feeling heavy. You end up feeling burdened spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. You end up experiencing brain fog, having a hard time concentrating, having a hard time sleeping, or maybe sleeping too much. It can lead to you feeling very anxious, having anxiety. It can leave you feeling frustrated, confused. It can start to feel like you're just walking around in circles. Everything starts to feel mundane, and you may start to notice that things around you are beginning to grow stagnant. And it's because you haven't released your anointing. You may have a title picked out for that book, but you haven't actually started writing it. Or you may have made the logos and the templates, but you haven't built the website. You haven't started the channel. You haven't posted the podcast. You may have got the t-shirts made, but you haven't went out and did the work. You may be doing some small things on the back end, but you haven't fully stepped up to the front line. It's time to get started. It's time to stop saying, but I don't have this and I need that, and I'm gonna wait till I get a new computer. It's time to get over your lack of confidence. It's time to get over that fear of getting started, putting your hands to something new. It's time to let go of those emotions saying, but am I ready? But will they listen? But what am I really getting myself into? And get started. It never gets easy. It never gets comfortable. One day you have to just decide, today's the day that I'm going to get started. And when you get started, not just when you do a little here, do a little there, but when you truly get started, you're going to recognize all of that heaviness lifting off of you. And I just want to say this, if it looks like it's not time, it probably is time. If it doesn't feel like it's time, it probably is time. If it feels like you're too tired, if it feels like, well, I'll be in a better position, a better place to do it next month, it probably is time. Because God doesn't bring you to an assignment when the physical conditions are appealing. He brings you to an assignment when it's time. Because all you know is you don't have the camera. All you know is you don't have the iPad yet. All you know is you're still trying to muster up enough confidence. But God knows the souls who are waiting. God knows the hearts of those who need to hear exactly what He has put in you. Camera or not. Hair done or not. Laptop, no laptop. With and without the grant. With and without the loan. With and without your friends understanding. With and without your family backing you. It's time to get started, because it's time. And the longer you hold out, the heavier you're going to feel. And please don't hear this and think that God is saying it's time to get started, and because you've waited so long, or because it's been a certain amount of time that He's been putting that on your heart, that now you have to go overwhelming yourself, overworking yourself. That is not what God is saying, and do not allow the enemy to put that type of pressure or anxiousness on you. Yeah, you may didn't get started the first time you heard the call. Yeah, you may didn't get started the first time it came to your heart. But all the while, God has been preparing you, and God just has this funny way of taking something that is in some way or another delayed and making it right on time. So instead of looking at it saying, look at all this time that I've lost, see it as, what is it that I can do today? What is it that I'm going to do by the end of this week? All that is required is for you to just give God your full yes. Give God your full obedience and turn your ear towards Him, knowing that He would do the rest, knowing that He would take care of the rest. Know that the anointing that God gives us is not so we can sit back and say we are anointed, but it's so that we could put that anointing to use. You didn't just go through the trials that you went through only for you. You didn't just go through the suffering only for you. You did not just carry the burdens only for you. It was also for those who need your anointing, who need your testimony, who need your revelation, who need your wisdom, who need your understanding. This was never just about you. So be sensitive to the timing of God. Be sensitive to the instruction that He may be putting on your heart. And if you've already started in ministry and you found yourself feeling burdened, you found your anointing weighing down on you, it may be that God is trying to open up new doors, new assignments. So you have to be open to that and mindful of that. And be sensitive to the spiritual cues, because when it's time to pull back, you're going to know. When it's time to put more out, you're going to know. When it's time to switch the way that you are releasing your anointing, you're going to know. When it's time to expand for a season, you're going to know. When it's time to decrease for a season, you're going to know. But it's a must that you be sensitive to the spiritual cues, because if not, they're going to start showing up physically. They're going to start showing up in every area and aspect of your life, because this is an assignment and you said yes. I encourage you to get started, and I encourage you to empty yourself so that you may be refilled again.